CCL fans, what is up? How y'all been doing? I have missed you folks and making episodes on a regular basis, but if you haven't noticed, over the last maybe say 3 to 4 months, there hasn't been any contact, and I pretty much dropped off the face of the earth. And I'm here to tell you what's been going on in my life. It's all really exciting. And I was actually encouraged by a fan of the show who I've become friends with, who said, Chris, transparency is always a good thing, which I do believe in. He goes, go on your show, tell people what you've been up to. So I'm here to tell you that today. So keep that tape rolling as always, and let's dig into what's been happening in our universe over the last 3 months. Folks, thanks for sticking with me. So as you folks know, for about 2 years, actually our 2-year anniversary of CCL sports cards, I'm a little rusty. Now, as longtime fans of the show know, for about 2 years, in fact, we celebrated our 2-year anniversary of CCL Sports Cards being on the air in November. So it's been a good 2 years, and we've come a long way, having over 700 subscribers. In fact, we're closing in on 800 subscribers. But we regularly put out content sharing our grading reveals and how we're making money in the hobby, which truthfully is actually a little challenging, and it becomes more and more challenging each week as the card market continues to decline. But again, I went on hiatus or break, say 3 to 4 months ago, because my life has been incredibly busy. And I want to share with you what's been going on. So first off, I'll start off by saying I've always got and always had numerous projects on the go that I'm very passionate about. So it wasn't hard to sort of see that YouTube might take a back seat for a couple of months. The first of which is my memoir. I've been working on my memoir for about 3.5 years, and right now I'm partnered with a really lovely memoirist out of the UK, and her name is Marnie Summerfield Smith. Just in case you're thinking about writing a memoir, we're about 18 months from completion, and it's a project I'm really passionate about, which takes my focus. Because being a fella who retired when he was 41 years old in the traditional sense, and gets to do sports cards full time? I mean, shit. If you're telling the 11-year-old Christopher Davies that he's going to be able to do sports cards full time and just, play, that would be super cool to that kid, and I truly enjoy it. So I'm sharing my memoir and the journey that brought me to early retirement. Then there's the Trading Post, a technology sports card app that was a startup that actually took a lot of my time with me and my partner and a tremendous amount of resources, which has subsequently been shelved just before launch because there were some challenges that came up. So that's been shelved, which brings me back to being on YouTube. Now, CCL Sports Cards has taken up a great deal of my time. I mean, folks of the show, we've grown. I shared how sales were going. They've gone incredibly well. We hit all our metrics. We've hired this year. We've lost some staff this year. It has been a great year for CCL Sports Cards. But in my personal life, I mean, for the better part of the year, I've been living in Pittsburgh with my family part-time. And as a lot of you know, I live just north of the GTA in Canada, and we've been splitting our time between Canada and the US. We live in Pittsburgh about 30% of the time, where we have a beautiful apartment, and in Canada 70% of the time. And if you've never done this living in two countries thing, it starts to, weigh on you a little bit no matter how fun we make it. So we've been living in two countries as well. Now I want to circle back to the expo, which happened in early November, and I know that a lot of fans actually came to the show, and I want to just reach out to I think there's about maybe a half dozen of you who came by the table and say, hey, look, no content, I love your show, what's going on? And they were gracious enough to tell me their stories and how they came to watch the show, and it really made me feel connected to you, the audience, all you guys and gals who tune into my show, subscribe, comment. I appreciate all of you, and it really made me miss you. So that when my friend, and his name's Nick, when he came to the table and said, Chris, transparency is always a good thing, and he suggested I make this episode, let you know what's been going down in my life, I committed. Now, this is 5 weeks later than I said I would do it, but I still committed to doing this project to share with the audience where I've been, that I haven't just, fallen off the face of the earth. Now, the kicker was, Nick and I actually had a chance to sit down for a good 10 to 15 minutes and just talk about the hobby. And that's what this is all about. Sports cards is about being in the hobby. Now, yes, it is about making money, and that's what the show is about. But it's about connecting people. And I really enjoyed my 15 minutes with Nick, and the fella even gave me a gift on the way out. Now, you'll see on the screen there, I was completely touched, because I'm a pitcher guy, and you guys know that, but also Otto Lopez, who's kind of like my fan favorite and somebody I kind of whipped the Jays about because they totally mistreated Otto Lopez. So it was a really touching gift. They're beautiful cards. You can see them on the screen. Now, I'll wrap up by saying we've got some wonderful content. There's some BGS grading reveals coming up, a lot of crack and cross, and sharing a lot of the ways that we've been making money in light of the hobby being in decline. And those episodes will be out in the next couple of weeks. I will say that I appreciate you as the audience, you guys and gals. Our subscribers have stayed at 778 over the last 3 months. So it seems like maybe we lost one or two, but we gained one or two, but you folks are so loyal and I love you all. I want to wrap up by saying Merry Christmas. My family and I love Christmas, but whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I want to wish you a very safe and happy holidays. I consider it a blessing to be on this show and have so many people who love the show. And I want to wish you all an amazing start to 2024. Be well, guys.